And what are your hopes for 2026 and beyond?
We've had Gifted Development Center since June of 1979. That's over 46 years. And we've collected data on over 6,600 gifted and twice exceptional children from all over the world. That data is available for researchers, for graduate students to study, to find out more about these populations. And the most exciting information about the data is that we have tested over 1,000 children with IQ scores in the 160 range and higher. And that hasn't been collected anywhere. There are very small studies of exceptionally and profoundly gifted children, but we have an extensive population that's available for study. What we hear about giftedness and what we believe about giftedness throughout the world is really not based on the study of these outliers. It's based on the mildly and moderately gifted, the ones who are served in gifted programs. But the highly, exceptionally, and profoundly gifted sometimes can't get their needs met in school and have to be homeschooled. Sometimes they just check out of even a gifted program because there's nothing there when they're that advanced to even stimulate their intellect and interest. So our data can answer questions that have never been answered before about the gifted population and the extremes of intelligence. The children in the 180 range, the children in the 200 range. We've tested children who are so gifted, they have taken the most difficult IQ test and scored 265 IQ. But no one really speaks to that population. And we've done some pilot studies that show that at 130 IQ, there is a distinctive, significant difference in the number of characteristics of giftedness that parents endorse. And 130 is the traditional IQ range of giftedness. We've gone away from that in recent years and made it broader, made it more egalitarian, so that our programs serve kids in the 120s rather than the 130s. But the children in the 120s are significantly different from the children in the 130s or 140s or 150s or 160s or higher. And if all of your research data is on children in the 120 to 130 range, it doesn't really apply or have relevance for the exceptionally gifted. It would be like taking the bottom 10% of a school and putting them into special education. Not that anyone in their right mind would do that, but just deciding that they belong in special education. And then we're going to do all this research on that population, and we're going to make conclusions about children who are moderately intellectually disabled or severely or profoundly based on a study of the lowest 10% of the school population. That's what our research looks like in gifted education, because we do not differentiate whether it's highly gifted or it's mildly gifted. And that's what our data can do. So my excitement about 2026 and beyond is that I am hoping that we will have researchers come to Gifted Development Center, explore the data, and ask the kinds of questions that will give us information about the outliers, about the children that we don't hear about, and we don't read about, and we don't know about, and we make assumptions about based on data that's been collected on children in the 120 to 130 range.